Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is June 28th, no, 29th. I don't know. It is day 10. We have arrived at our first longer stay here in Gatineau. We are here for 6 nights, which is very nice, which is why I can actually set up my camera and come and speak to you. For those of you who have not been following along, we're on our summer adventure for this year. We left home 10 days ago and we have traveled across the country as far as La Pocatière, Quebec. I will go over all those details. You can watch the previous videos. I've made a playlist. So much information floating in my head. Okay, so I've made a playlist for all the summer videos, and most of the ones before this are just as we're driving along, because we did a lot of driving, over 60 hours of driving and over 5,000 kilometers. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I did some of the driving, but my husband didn't let me drive. Not let me. He enjoys the driving part, so he did most of the driving, which means that I get to be the passenger that is sitting and knitting in the comfort of the passenger seat. Did trade with the kids a few times, and I sat in the back and one of them sat in the front, and we have a Tesla Model Y and it has a screen in the back for the kids. I have a 16-year-old and 14-year-old, and we have controllers for that screen so they can play games and stuff on there, and they listen to their audiobooks and they look out the window and we play license plate games and all sorts of fun stuff on our trip. But it was a lot, and we moved almost every night. We moved to a different location. We had 2 days where we didn't move. One, we spent the day in Winnipeg, and then we spent the day in Montreal. We got to go to the Montreal Jazz Festival, which was super awesome, just to experience that. And Taylor, my daughter, is in a jazz band at her high school, so it was fun for her to get to see that and see such a variety of jazz music and enjoy just that kind of festival atmosphere. So that was super fun. And we went to a really awesome Harry Potter experience in Montreal. In Winnipeg, we didn't get to do as much as we wanted to do. We wanted to go to the Human Rights Museum, but it was closed the day we were there. And yeah, we've seen a lot of fun stuff along the way, but it has been a lot of drive time. And then, but even though I'm mostly just sitting in the car, by the time you get to the hotel, you've figured out food for the day, you know, and the sleeping arrangements, who's sleeping, you know, which bed is what, and does anybody need laundry done and stuff. It's kind of done. I'm done for the day. So we spent quite a few evenings in hotel rooms just watching movies, which is perfectly fine. We knew that was going to happen because those travel days were just really long, but now we are here. We had a relatively long travel day yesterday. We dropped Taylor off at her Explore Canada program in La Pocatière, Quebec. She is there for 3 weeks, and she will be speaking French 100% of the time. She does speak French at school, so she does know quite a bit now, and she'll be doing some cultural activities there. They go to the water park, they go paintballing, they go into Quebec for a day. You know, it's like summer camp with a little bit of school mixed in. So they definitely learn. They have classes in the morning where they learn, you know, more Quebecois French and, you know, just more French. They're learning more French. And then she'll be able to take her DELF exams at the end in order to get her certification in those. So she is there now. If we can text her and call her. She has her cell phone with her. She's staying in a dorm, so it's a secondary boarding school, but it has there in Quebec, their schools go to like grade 10, 11, and then you go to like it's like a college prep kind of level. So that's the dorms that she's in. So they're a bit more independent. That they can, you know, they can go out and get food for lunch if they want, but there is a cafeteria there for them to have food. And so she gets a dorm, she has to do her own laundry, there's like a shower room and all that kind of stuff. So she's getting that full experience, which is super awesome for her. And we have 5 more days before we drop Cooper off at his SHAD program in Oshawa. He will be there until the 31st of July, so 4 weeks. And again, he is in a dorm situation there. That is a university, and he has 2 to a room, so they each have their own bedroom, but then they share the like common space, and which has like a kitchen and a little sitting area and a bathroom. So that's pretty cool. I don't feel very comfortable filming in those spaces, so I might put a couple pictures in, but I didn't film anything in there. Also, I just wanted to make sure that I got the experience of, Taylor's joy of, coming to this dorm and living in it, and to say a nice goodbye to her without having to worry about filming and all that. But I'm sure you guys understand that. Anyway, let's get on to what I've been working on. First, I have finished the Musselburgh hat, and I'll put pictures in here. It turned out so good. I am so happy with it. I think that it's a little too big for my head, and I knew that. My husband was like, I really like that hat, but I don't know, he likes a slouchy hat, and I don't think it's slouchy enough for him, but we'll see when I wash it when I get home if it turns out a little slouchier. The Knit Picks yarn relaxes quite a bit. That's what I knit out of Knit Picks Felici in Beyond the Wall and Dark Side something. I can't remember. It'll be up on the screen here. It's on my Ravelry page, which is linked down below if you're looking for all the details there. I try to keep my notes pretty updated. However, on this summer trip, I probably won't keep them as updated. So then I finished that hat, and I immediately cast on one of the socks that I had planned for this trip. So if you watch my regular episodes, you'll know that I planned 5 different pairs of socks for this trip. And but I had that Musselburgh hat on the go already, so I really wanted to finish that. Because I'm making just like plain vanilla socks, maybe some ribbing, I'm just gonna be like one project. Oh, I just bumped my mic. One project at a time, and so you won't see a lot of different things going on. I do have the shawl that I was working on as well that I might pull out, and I do have the swatch that I'm working on for Mike's vest. I brought it along thinking that I would have some downtime to do it, but we'll see. Not yet, because that's a charted cable pattern, so I really and it's in fingering weight yarn, so I really want to make sure I'm focused and get it looking right so that the swatch is an actual representation of what will happen with the vest. But anyway, let's move on to my socks. So I have knit most of a sock. There's a heel in there. Not most of a sock. I've knit the foot of a sock and a heel. And I think this is a Patton's yarn. I don't know. I caked it up so long ago. Basically, when the kids were very little and I was new to sock knitting, I knit up this sock on my usual sock needle, and it came out so dense and thick, and I could not get it over my foot at all. So yeah, I figured out this is actually a sport weight yarn, not a fingering weight yarn. So I'm working on a 2.75 millimeter needle. I'm gonna say it flies. Like this has gone so fast. This is probably two days of car knitting, including having to kind of redo half the heel because I was overconfident and thought, I know what the next instruction is, and I didn't. I should have gone back to my instructions. So I just did my regular every other round increase for the toe. And then for the heel, I am using the Knitting Expat has a pattern called Mina's Vanilla Sock that I have. I own the pattern along with her mini heel flap adjustment. So it just has a little bit, it's really hard to see, but right here, there's just a little piece where you add some extra So then it's like an afterthought heel, but then it's got a little bit extra room, which I find that I need in an afterthought heel sock. And I love the fit of these socks. I ended up doing 60 stitches for this sock. I hope that it fits. I've never done a sport weight sock before, so it's a bit of an experiment. I've done fingering weight and I've done DK, so hopefully it works. And if it's a bit big, then I will find somebody else that it fits, although I love this yarn. So this has already been split into two, and I've matched up where I'm going to start the toe. So hopefully these will be matchy socks. I did use the other end of the ball to do the heel of the sock, so I should get a clean progression of colors up the front. There is a gusset that happens, so the colors on the front, you can see like right there is missing a little bit of gray, but when it's here, you don't notice it. It's fine. So it's great. I'm very happy with this. And yeah, so now I'm just on the leg. I'm gonna go up one color repeat, and then I think I'm gonna put it on hold and start the other sock and just see, because I want them to end at the same color repeat, and I'm just not confident that they are going to do that, because this sock has been sitting in my stash for more than 10 years, because I think Taylor was like 1 or 2 when I originally tried to knit this one, and now she's 14. So this is some very old stash getting used up, which is very exciting. And I of course have it in my on-the-go knitting bag, which is my little triangle one. I haven't found a great way to store this in the car yet. I'm thinking about getting one of those 3M hooks and attaching it so that it hangs, but then I don't want it to be like in the way of getting in and out of the car. So still working on that. In the truck, which is what we've done all our other summer trips in, there are like different knobs and switches that don't really get used that I was able to kind of hang it off of, and it worked great. So, but in the Tesla, there's nothing. It's so clean and it's so great. Like everything is in the screen. There's no knobs or buttons or switches or anything. You do everything in the electronics, which makes it very clean look in there, but also there's no nooks and crannies to put anything either. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. So that's what I've been working on. Today we're gonna go, I think, to the Canadian War Museum. I have a ton of laundry to do, which I think I'm gonna do later tonight. We asked if we could have access to the laundry here at the VRBO that we're at, and he said we could, but the door is locked. So we're working on that. So either I will be doing loads of laundry here, or I'll just take it all out to a laundromat and do it there. One way or the other, because we are all out of clothes. After 10 days of doing minimal laundry at hotels, we are all out of clothes, and we need the pillowcases done and the towels and everything. So lots of laundry to do. I might just do the laundromat because it'll be honestly quicker, because there are probably about 5 or 6 loads to do. So, you know, travel is lovely, but there are, you know, things that you have to figure out along the way when you do longer trips. We're going to be gone for a total of 6 weeks. So we're going to, you know, there are things that are different this time than any other time. When we had our truck and trailer, we stayed at campsites. We stayed at a lot of KOA campsites, a lot of bigger kind of resort style campsites, and they have full laundromats on site. And so I never felt like we needed, I knew that pretty much whatever campsite we were going to be at, there was laundry available. But of course, when you're staying in hotels, some of them have laundry, some of them don't. VRBOs, it can, you know, vary depending on what services are available. There's no standard for it. It seems to be standard across a lot of those bigger type campsites where you can just, there is laundry. There's no, you know, you don't need to ask or worry about it. It's just there. So I've probably rambled on enough. Oh, and I have all my junk behind me. I'm still sorting out because we are here for 5 more days. So, you know, we're kind of settling in. Everything's in the drawers, out of the suitcases, and, you know, setting up everything so that we can be comfortable for these few days and go do some fun things. And I, of course, will take you along, and I will sign off for now and see you guys tomorrow for day 11. Bye.